Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's Whitney with That Whitney Life. In this video, I have the oh so popular lemon DIYs for you. I personally love lemons for summer, just like the bright yellow is so warm and fun and perfect for summer. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. It's going to be a fun weekend, 4th of July. Please be safe. No blowing off extremities. That would be awesome. Have a good time. And without further ado, let's jump into it. For this first DIY, I'm going to take these 2 tall white candles from the Dollar Tree and melt them down in some water on low for a couple hours. I did take a dowel and push them down, but I did learn that a larger pot with more water in it would have done a lot better, because I don't know if this helped or hindered. Then this is a lemon mug from the Dollar Tree. I just think this set's really cute and I love them for summer. So I'm going to use that, and I forgot to push play when I was pouring everything into the mug. So after the candles are melted, take the wick out and glue it to the bottom of the mug and just carefully pour the wax in. Use some dowels to make sure that that wick stays straight. Clip it off, and that is all she wrote. This is what you have. I love it. I think it's such a good idea. Sarah Jane from ChicOnTheCheap does it all the time. I think they turn out so cute. Now I'm going to use this lemon towel, and I'm going to fold it in half inside out, making sure it's flat. The Dollar Tree stuff never lines up correctly, but just do as best you can. Then I'm going to take some glue, and I'm going to glue all the sides together really well. I did hear that you can wash these if you want. Just make sure it is on cold, because obviously common sense says it's hot glue. If you wish it on hot, it will melt it. So I've never done it myself, but that is what I heard. Anyways, so just keep gluing it all the way down, gluing it down all the way around. When you get to the top, make sure that you leave about 3-inch gap or so, because that is where you're going to insert the stuffing. Now you can sew this if you want. You can do like really easy like loop stitches, I think they're called, but I'm not a great sewer. I'm great with a glue gun. So now you're going to turn it right side out, and making sure that you push the corners out as good as you can. Don't do it too much, because then it will rip the pillow apart. The corners will come undone. So just be aware of that, but do it the best you can. And then I did take some stuffing from an old pillow. You don't need to go buy stuffing. If you have an old pillow, just use that. And I like to rip a large chunk off and then just pull it apart into little pieces. I find that it makes it so your pillow isn't as lumpy as if you would just use one large intact piece. That's just my opinion. It's totally up to you. Stuff it until you are happy with how fluffy it is. I wouldn't overstuff it, because then it does make it lumpy again, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. You do what you want. Now that we have it stuffed, that opening, you're going to take it and fold it inward. I like to do this in little bits, because I find that it stays better this way, because you can't, it's hard to hold it in place when you're doing one long strip. So I like to do it just in parts, and that way I can get it nice and straight and secure. Now you can leave it as is, or I decided I wanted to make a tassel. So I'm just wrapping some jute twine around my fingers 20 times, and then I'm going to pinch the top of it so it looks like a little ghosty. And I don't know why I did this. It's easier to cut off a separate piece of jute twine rather than taking a piece of the tassel and tying it. I don't know why I did it, but you get the idea. I wrapped it around the top of it a couple times, tied it off, and then I cut the loops. And I'm going to cut it down fairly short. I didn't want these to be super long tassels, but cut it down to whatever length you want to, and I made 4 of those. Then I'm going to take those said tassels and I'm going to glue them to the corners of the pillows. I don't really know what else to say about this part. And here it is. I think this is my favorite DIY of the day. I love how it looks in my living room. It's so fun and festive. I really do love decorative pillows, but I have 3 dogs, and every time I try to put them out, they decide that it is part of their bed, or it's theirs to destroy, or they get them all dirty, so I just gave up on that. And this next one is super duper easy, and I'm not going to say that this is the most beautiful DIY on the planet, but it is great for just temporary decor. So I'm just making a quick little table runner. I took another one of those dish towels from the Dollar Tree, the lemon ones, and I just cut it straight in half. What is that, hot dog? Is that what we learned in school, hot dog and hamburger? So hot dog, and then flip it over upside down and glue the ends together. And that's it. This is how it looks in my tablescape, and I think it looks really pretty there. Now these are some candle holders that I believe they're new this year from the Dollar Tree. I've never seen them. And I just cut out this lemon stencil I got a new Cricut finally. I have a real Cricut. So I made a stencil, just this little lemon stencil. I popped it on the candle holder and then took this green color. It is Deco Art Americana in some sort of green. I don't remember the color, but it's kind of terrible paint anyways, so get something else. And then I'm going to do a coat of Waverly White chalk paint, and then there's this little piece that was on the stencil, like an accent to it, that I placed back on. And then I did Folk Art acrylic paint in lemon yellow. I did a coat of that. And then I just took some Deco Art Americana in chocolate brown and did the stem and peeled the stencil right up. I have trouble with the stencil and it peels up, like the paint peels up when I pull the stencil off. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I put a little bit of Mod Podge on it just to secure it in. And then I had a second one, so I made another decal of the same lemon and I just popped that on in gold. And here's how they turned out. I think they're really cute. They look really nice in a tiered tray with a candle in it. Now this last one is a Christmas sign, and it's the shape of a bulb, but I thought it was similar to a lemon. So I took 2 of these and glued them together face down, so glued the faces of them together. Just makes it more sturdy. And I'm going to give it a couple coats of Waverly White chalk paint, and then I'm going to just measure out, just with the width of a ruler, I'm going to put some lines on it so it looks like shiplap. And then I'm going to give it a sand so it fades out those lines. It looks more realistic. They're not super harsh lines, and that's just how I like it. If you like it super harsh, that's totally fine too, but I wanted it a little bit distressed. Then I took my Cricut Joy and I made a stencil. Now that I've gone through the process of making a stencil, raise your hand if you're with me on not understanding the point of going through all that trouble to make a stencil when you can just cut out a regular picture or whatever and just weed like the letters out. It's the exact same thing, really. I don't know. Anyways, I cut out with my Cricut, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I did lemon in gold, easy peasy and squeezy in black. I just think that's such a cute saying, and I say it all the time. And then I'm going to go ahead and paint my lemons. So I put down some Mod Podge first. I don't know if you're supposed to just do the edges of it because it helps with bleeding. But I just did the whole thing because I was like, why not? I mean, I was hoping it would help the acrylic paint stick so it wouldn't peel up when I'm pulling up the stencil. But it really didn't. So I don't know. But anyways, I'm doing about 3 or 4 coats of the Full Guard acrylic lemon yellow paint, and then that same green I was talking about earlier that's kind of terrible, I'm going to do about 3 coats of that. And then I'm going to put some Mod Podge on top of that just to seal everything in. Let that dry, and then I'm going to peel everything up. So I decided that I wanted more definition in my picture, so I just took a X-Acto knife, carved out the line that I wanted in between the lemons, and I just outlined everything in black Sharpie, just thin line, just so it was more defined. Then I decided, I guess, more Mod Podge. This really was just to seal in the edges because it was trying to peel up. That, I don't know what it is with me and that stencil. So now I'm taking some nautical rope, and I wanted to hide the edges because you could see where those 2 signs were glued together. So just glue the nautical rope all the way around the picture. These are leaves from Dollar Tree Greenery, and I'm just going to glue 2 of them on so it kind of looks like a lemon, like leaves of a lemon. And then I made just a little buffalo check bow and popped that on there. And then I wanted to make it hangable, so I just took a little piece of jute twine and tied it off in a knot and cut off the excess. And then I moved it around so the knot was, you couldn't see the knot. And that's it. I really like this sign. I think it's probably one of my favorite signs that I've made. I'm really enjoying the Cricut. I'm excited to learn much more about it. I'm still learning how to design and everything like that. So stay tuned for more Cricut projects. But I love this sign. I'm so excited to put it out in my house. Well, that is everything I have for you in this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. God bless.